Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. An icon of 1970s action cinema, Mel Novak, passed away on April 9th at the age of 90. According to his daughter, Nicole Conant, the actor died peacefully at a care facility in Southern California, succumbing to the natural toll of age and years of illness. In his final years, Novak endured daily pain, the lingering result of a career defined by intense physical performances, during which he performed his own dangerous stunts without hesitation. Mel Novak captivated audiences worldwide with his magnetic portrayals of villains in cult classics such as Game of Death, where he stood opposite martial arts legend Bruce Lee, and A Force of One alongside Chuck Norris. Known for his steely gaze and commanding presence, he became a fixture in action films like Black Belt Jones, and even in his later years, never lost his passion, starring in projects like Apex Predators, Ebola Rex, and Mega Ape. Yet, Novak's life was not without hardship. Behind the scenes, he battled long-term health complications and the emotional toll of Hollywood's often unforgiving spotlight. Despite this, he never gave up. Off-screen, he devoted himself to faith-based outreach. Actress Lee Benton, a close friend, described him as a bold warrior for Christ who spent weekends ministering to the homeless on Skid Row and visiting inmates across the world. Mel Novak's passing is a profound loss to cinema and to all who admired him. He leaves behind a legacy of resilience, compassion, and unwavering dedication to his craft. Rest in peace, dear legend. Your impact lives on.
Oh, no. No way. You see, I saw that picture in the newspaper.
The talented actress Sian Barbara Allen, best remembered for her haunting performances in Scream and Pretty Peggy, alongside the legendary Bette Davis, died on Monday in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, at the age of 78. She died after a long and quiet battle with Alzheimer's disease, a difficult journey that she endured with quiet strength in her later years. The 1970s and 1980s marked the golden era of Sian's career, when she appeared on screen in beloved television shows such as The Waltons, Columbo, The Rockford Files, and Gunsmoke. In film, her powerful lead role in You'll Like My Mother, 1972, earned her a Golden Globe nomination for Most Promising Newcomer. Her subtle, poignant performance, expressive eyes, and gentle yet commanding presence left an indelible impression on audiences. But Sian was more than just a gentle soul. She was also a strong woman. After her final appearance in L.A. Law, 1990, she chose to step away from the spotlight, spending time with her family, engaging in politics, and writing, a testament to her desire for a meaningful life off-screen. Her passing leaves a deep sense of loss in the hearts of her admirers. She lives on in the hearts of her daughter, Emily Fonseca, her grandson, Arlo, her sisters, Hannah and Meg, and her loving extended family. A talented artist has closed the final chapter of her life, quietly but brilliantly. Farewell, Sian Barbara Allen, a woman who embodied gentle beauty and unyielding inner strength. Rubby Pérez, the legendary merengue singer whose soaring voice defined a generation of Dominican music, tragically lost his life during the catastrophic roof collapse at Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo on April 8, 2025. He was 69. Once hailed as the loudest voice of merengue by bandleader Wilfrido Vargas, Pérez's voice wasn't just powerful, it was an instrument of joy, identity, and resilience for his country and Latin music fans around the world. Rubby's path to music was born from hardship. A promising baseball career was shattered at age 15 by a car accident that fractured his leg. During his recovery, he found solace in a guitar, his new bat, and soon discovered his calling in music. Trained at the National Conservatory of Music in Santo Domingo, Pérez moved from church choirs to merengue stages, eventually joining Vargas's orchestra in the early 80s, where he gained fame through hits like El Africano and Volveré. Launching his solo career in 1987, Rubby Pérez found even greater success with songs like Buscando tus besos and Enamorado de ella, showcasing a dynamic vocal range that could move seamlessly from bold declarations to gentle tenderness. His career spanned decades, adapting gracefully to evolving musical styles, as seen in his late 90s hit Tu vas a volar, which became his highest-charting U.S. record single. Although his final moments came on stage, doing what he loved most, his legacy will never be buried beneath rubble. Let us honor Rubby not just with grief, but with gratitude. Turn up his music, let his voice ring out once more, and keep the spirit of merengue alive in every beat of our hearts.
But I think I put a lot of passion into what I do. And I think that
The heartbeat of legendary band Blondie, Clem Burke, has died at the age of 70 after a personal battle with cancer. A drummer whose rhythms shaped decades of music, Burke was more than just a musician. He was the soul that kept Blondie's flame burning. Clem was more than just a drummer. He was the heartbeat of Blondie. Debbie Harry and Chris Stein shared in a moving tribute. Born in Bayonne, New Jersey, Burke began his journey with local bands before fate took him to New York, where he joined Blondie in 1975. With unparalleled technique and undeniable stage presence, he breathed life into timeless hits like Call Me Atomic and The Tide is High. Even during the band's hiatus in 1982, Burke never missed a beat, collaborating with musical giants like Bob Dylan, Joan Jett, Pete Townshend, Iggy Pop, and Nancy Sinatra. Throughout his career, Burke faced many challenges, from the instability of the music industry to the stressful dynamics of touring with the Ramones. Yet he remained a steadfast artist, always anchored in the cool energy of New York and a boundless passion for music. To his peers, Clem represented not only extraordinary skill, but also a fierce loyalty and devotion to his craft. Clem Burke did not fade into silence. His rhythms continued to resonate, each beat imbued with soul and spirit. As Nancy Sinatra poignantly wrote, "My heart is broken. Clem was the symbol of Blondie and a sacred part of my musical life." For all who were touched by his drumming, Clem remains the eternal heartbeat of the musical world.
Real good. I'm really looking forward to New Year's when I can actually experience Versailles for myself.
The husband of Queen of Versailles star Jackie Siegel, David Siegel, founder of the Westgate Resorts empire, passed away on April 5th at the age of 89. He died surrounded by loved ones after a period of battling cancer. In a heartfelt tribute, his wife Jackie wrote, "To say we are devastated is an understatement. I had 25 wonderful years with David, and together we raised 8 incredible children." David Siegel was the embodiment of the American dream. From humble beginnings, he built Westgate Resorts from a small garage and turned it into one of the largest timeshare companies in the United States. Yet more than his fame or fortune, David was most proud of his family, the foundation of his life. His journey with Jackie was captured in the acclaimed 2012 documentary The Queen of Versailles, and later adapted into a Broadway musical, bringing his story to audiences around the world. In her emotional message, Jackie found comfort in imagining that their daughter, Victoria, who tragically passed away in 2015 from a drug overdose, was the first to welcome David in heaven. "He heard the word Dad and got a big hug," she shared. That image brought warmth and peace to a grieving wife and their children in a time of heartbreaking farewell. David Siegel has left behind a lasting legacy and a deep, enduring love. Let us remember him, with gratitude, with family unity, and with the courage to dream big, just as he always did.
Can still be heard.
Cissy Houston, an icon of soul and gospel music and beloved mother of the legendary Whitney Houston, passed away on Monday morning at her home in New Jersey after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease. She was 91. Surrounded by her family in her final moments, she left behind a musical legacy spanning more than 7 decades, etched deeply into the hearts of music lovers around the world. Born in Newark, New Jersey, Cissy began her musical journey as a child, singing with the family group, the Drinkard Singers. Her talents quickly carried her beyond the church stage, becoming a founding member of the renowned backing vocal group, the Sweet Inspirations. Alongside her niece Dee Dee Warwick, she lent her soaring, soulful harmonies to timeless hits by Aretha Franklin, Elvis Presley, Dusty Springfield, and Van Morrison. Later, Cissy launched her solo career, earning 2 Grammy Awards for her deeply spiritual gospel albums, Face to Face and He Leadeth Me, announcing a voice that resonated with power, grace, and unwavering faith. More than a remarkable artist, Cissy was a devoted mother who witnessed both the meteoric rise and heartbreaking fall of her daughter Whitney. From Whitney's earliest performances to her global stardom, Cissy was by her side, on stage, in the studio, and in life. But she also endured unimaginable loss, mourning Whitney's death in 2012 and later, her granddaughter Bobby Christina. Those tragedies left lasting pain, yet they never diminished Cissy's faith or her steadfast love for her family. She was the matriarch of our family, a woman of faith, of art, and of community, said her daughter-in-law Pat Houston in a moving tribute. Her contributions to music and culture are unparalleled. With hundreds of recording credits alongside music legends and decades spent leading the choir at New Hope Baptist Church in Newark, Cissy Houston was more than a voice. She was a guiding light. Her legacy will continue to echo in every note sung with love, strength, and spirit.
Much to do, so much to see, so what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go.
Steve Harwell, the unmistakable voice behind Smash Mouth's global hits All Star and Walkin' on the Sun, has died at the age of 56. Surrounded by close family and friends, Harwell passed away on September 4, 2024, after battling liver failure and a series of serious health issues. His longtime manager described him as a truly unique individual whose voice helped define a generation. Born in California in 1967, Harwell co-founded Smash Mouth in 1994, spearheading the band's rise to fame with its unique blend of pop rock, ska, and hip-hop. The band broke through with the hit Walkin' on the Sun, followed by the now iconic All Star, which became globally famous after appearing in the animated film Shrek. That song alone cemented the band's place in pop culture and has since racked up nearly 1 billion streams. Behind the fame, however, Harwell endured enormous personal and physical struggles. He lost his 6-month-old son Presley to leukemia in 2001, a grief that affected him deeply. He battled cardiomyopathy, Wernicke's encephalopathy, and alcoholism for years. Despite his best efforts to continue performing, Harwell announced his retirement in 2021, cementing that he could no longer perform. Steve Harwell was more than just a rock singer. He was a voice of his time. His music brought joy, energy, and lasting memories to millions. Let's remember him by pressing play, singing out loud, and reminding him that for many of us, he was truly a star. Sam Elliott, the voice, the legend, the last cowboy. Today, we come to the story of a true icon of the American silver screen, Sam Elliott, a man whose warm, untamed demeanor and towering mustache have left a lasting impression on fans for decades. His journey is not only a journey to conquer Hollywood, but also a story of determination, passion, and endurance that transcends time. Whether he plays a lone cowboy, a tough guy, or a storyteller, Elliott always brings a sense of authenticity and incredible depth. If you love stories about unsung heroes, stay tuned until the end, and don't forget to leave a comment sharing your feelings about this wonderful artist. Sam Elliott, born August 9, 1944 in Sacramento, California, was destined to become one of Hollywood's most enduring symbols of rugged masculinity and quiet strength. Raised in Portland, Oregon, by a fitness instructor mother and a Department of the Interior employee father, Elliott grew up amid the majestic natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. These landscapes, combined with a childhood passion for westerns, planted the seeds for a career that has spanned more than 5 decades and left its mark on American film and television. Elliott's early years were filled with theatrical aspirations. In high school, he acted in plays and quickly became known for his deep, booming voice, a trait that would become his trademark. Despite his parents' initial reservations, Elliott pursued acting with fierce determination, enrolling at Clark College in Vancouver, Washington. There, he honed his craft and developed the discipline needed to navigate a tough industry. He learned to accept criticism, persevere through rejection, and find strength in vulnerability, qualities that would later define many of his characters. After graduating from college, Elliott briefly considered more traditional career paths in construction or forestry, but the pull of storytelling proved too strong. In the late 1960s, he moved to Los Angeles, working odd jobs like hauling cement and working as a part-time security guard while auditioning for roles. His tall stature, signature mustache, and unmistakable voice eventually caught the eye of casting directors. Through small TV appearances and workshops, Elliott gradually established himself. His early setbacks became the foundation for the resilience that would characterize his career. In the 1970s, Elliott began to gain recognition on television, especially in Western-themed series such as Gunsmoke and Mission Impossible. His ability to convey quiet authority made him an ideal choice for stern cowboys and complex cops. Even in small roles, he left a lasting impression, captivating audiences with his understated yet telling performances. Producers and directors took notice, leading to more major opportunities that played to his unique strengths. Elliott's first big break in film came with Lifeguard, 1976, where he showed emotional depth beyond his rough exterior. This performance helped him transition from supporting roles to powerful leads. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Elliott became a staple of American cinema with roles in Mask, 1985, Roadhouse, 1989, and Tombstone, 1993, where he played Virgil Earp with unwavering conviction. His combination of old-school grit and quiet sensitivity made him a favorite of audiences and filmmakers. While his mustache and deep voice became iconic, it was Elliott's commitment to authenticity that truly set him apart. He consistently chose roles that explored themes of honor, loyalty, and resilience. In films such as Gettysburg, 1993, The Big Lebowski, 1998, and We Were Soldiers, 2002, he delivered emotionally nuanced performances, demonstrating that true power often lies in silence and subtlety. His role in The Big Lebowski, as the mysterious narrator known as The Stranger, received critical acclaim, demonstrating his ability to convey seriousness and wit, even in brief roles. Throughout his career, Elliott faced personal challenges and periods of uncertainty. Health concerns and personal losses, including the early death of his father, who had doubts about Elliott's acting ambitions, shaped his worldview. These experiences infused his performances with empathy and depth. Known for valuing privacy, Elliott remained grounded through a lifestyle that emphasized fitness, nature, and self-reflection. He openly shared the importance of staying mentally grounded in a high-pressure industry and maintained an active lifestyle to counter stress. His relationship with actress Catherine Ross, whom he married in 1984, has been a pillar of strength in his life. The couple met on the set of The Legacy, 1978, and have maintained a stable, private life despite the pressures of Hollywood. Their daughter, Cleo Rose, pursued a career in music, continuing the family's creative legacy. Elliott often credits his wife and daughter for providing the emotional support that has sustained him through decades in the spotlight. Elliott's later career has been marked by critically acclaimed roles that reflect on legacy and identity. His turn as a fading Western star in The Hero, 2017, was seen as a self-referential homage, blending personal reflection with cinematic narrative. In A Star is Born, 2018, his portrayal of Bobby Maine earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, a milestone that honored his lifetime of dedication to the craft. He also showed his comedic side in Netflix's The Ranch, where he played a gruff but loving father, adding a new dimension to his public persona. Even today, Sam Elliott remains active in the industry, lending his voice and presence to projects that align with his values. Whether through narration, cameo appearances, or leading roles, he continues to inspire both audiences and fellow actors. His authenticity, humility, and timeless appeal have made him not just a performer, but a symbol of enduring strength and integrity in American storytelling. In a world that often celebrates flash over substance, Sam Elliott stands as a reminder that true power lies in grace, grit, and the courage to stay true to oneself. His legacy, like his voice, will echo for generations.
Innocently say something like, "How come you don't have any more Orange Crush?" And the kid.
With a voice that balanced sharp wit and irresistible charm, George Lowe carved a permanent place in the hearts of animation lovers around the world. Best known for his iconic portrayal of the dry-witted host in Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Lowe brought a forgotten Hanna-Barbera character back to life with razor-sharp satire, transforming him into a cult figure across generations. His portrayal blended charm, absurdity, and impeccable comedic timing, making him one of the most beloved voice actors in adult animation. Born in Dunedin, Florida, Lowe began his career in radio before transitioning into voice work. It was in 1994 that he found his signature role as Space Ghost, leading the surreal, celebrity-studded parody talk show that ran on Cartoon Network and later Adult Swim. His deadpan delivery defined the series and helped launch Adult Swim as a hub for experimental, late-night comedy. Beyond Space Ghost, Lowe lent his voice to other hit shows, including Cartoon Planet, The Brack Show, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and Robot Chicken, continuing to charm audiences with his wit and warmth. Behind the laughter, Lowe faced personal battles. He had been quietly enduring a long illness in recent years, as shared by his close friend Marvin Boone. Despite the toll it took, he remained a generous spirit and loving friend, remembered by many not only for his immense talent, but for his kindness and brilliant mind. George Lowe passed away on Sunday, March 2, 2025, at the age of 67. Though his physical presence is gone, his voice, irreverent, clever, and unmistakably his, will continue to echo through screens and memories for years to come.
Come on, I want to go crazy.
A television favorite in the 1970s and 1980s, Lenny Schultz brought joy to millions through his unpredictable, quirky style of comedy, turning the stage into a playground for laughter. Known for his eccentric characters and quirky sound effects, Schultz was a regular on laugh-in and late-night shows where audiences would chant, "Go crazy, Lenny," in joyous anticipation of his next crazy performance. His acts were not only funny, but also dynamic, surreal, and utterly unforgettable. One of his most famous acts, It Started with a Bang, hilariously reimagined the formation of the solar system through an explosion of sound and physical comedy. Although he thrived in the spotlight, Schultz never completely left the everyday world. For many years, he maintained a double life as a high school gym teacher, teaching by day and performing by night, a dual life that reflected his humble, down-to-earth nature. His work resonated deeply with fellow comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, Billy Crystal, Jon Stewart, and David Letterman, who admired his originality and fearless energy. In his later years, Schultz faced significant health challenges, including 2 battles with COVID-19, which deeply affected his strength and vitality. Though he eventually stepped away from the stage, he never lost his quick wit or his generous spirit. Friends and family recall that even as his illness slowed him, he remained sharp and energetic, still telling jokes, still lifting spirits with his signature warmth. Lenny Schultz leaves behind a legacy that goes far beyond jokes and props. He reminded us that comedy isn't always clean or conventional. It's messy, honest, and deeply human. In every laugh sparked by the unexpected, Lenny's spirit lives on. Lenny Schultz passed away on March 16, 2025, at the age of 91.
Not like people think, because I take a good care of my skin. I have a flawless skin.
Jocelyn Wildenstein, the Swiss-born socialite famously known as Catwoman for her feline-inspired appearance, has passed away at the age of 84 in Paris. She died peacefully during an afternoon nap at her residence, with the cause confirmed as a pulmonary embolism. Her longtime partner, fashion designer Lloyd Klein, expressed profound sadness at her passing, marking the end of a life that was as glamorous as it was complex. A prominent figure in New York's elite circles, Jocelyn rose to international fame not only for her extravagant lifestyle, but for her dramatic transformation through plastic surgery. She once revealed that her surgeries were meant to please her ex-husband, billionaire Alec Wildenstein, who adored cats. Their turbulent divorce in 1999 became one of the most expensive in history, awarding Jocelyn $2.5 billion and $100 million annually for 13 years, with the peculiar condition that she did not spend any of it on further cosmetic procedures. Although her life was adorned with luxury, Jocelyn faced significant trials in her later years. In 2018, she filed for bankruptcy, citing financial devastation after losing her divorce settlement income. Despite still owning real estate worth millions, her debts exceeded $6 million. Yet even in hardships, Jocelyn remains defiant, stylish, and a fixture of high fashion events, maintaining over 1 million followers on Instagram and continuing to brand herself as an art entrepreneur. Jocelyn Wildenstein leaves behind a legacy both controversial and captivating. Let us remember her not only for her distinctive appearance, but for her resilience, flair, and the bold way she chose to live her truth, fearlessly, unapologetically, and entirely on her own terms.
So you studied a little psychology. Psychology is very...
Richard Perry, the visionary behind some of pop music's most iconic hits, has died in Los Angeles at the age of 82 of cardiac arrest. Revered for his keen ear and meticulous attention to detail, Perry shaped the sound of the 1970s and 1980s, producing timeless tracks like Carly Simon's You're So Vain, Barbara Streisand's Stony End, and Harry Nilsson's Nilsson Schmilsson. His legacy lives on in music that listeners continue to love decades later. Born in Brooklyn, Perry's love of music began early, performing with a doo-wop group as a teenager before graduating from the University of Michigan. His early career saw him make bold choices, recording Tiny Tim's eccentric debut and producing Captain Beefheart's psychedelic rock, before entering the mainstream spotlight with artists like Ringo Starr, Diana Ross, Art Garfunkel, and the Pointer Sisters, whom he signed to his own label, Planet Records. A 7-time Grammy nominee, Perry was honored with the 2015 Trustees Award for Lifetime Achievement. Perry's career has been marked not only by hits, but also by a relentless pursuit of perfection. Carly Simon once revealed that he recorded You're So Vain over 100 times with 3 different drummers to get the perfect sound. That obsessive passion has been his signature, turning great songs into unforgettable anthems. Despite health challenges later in life, Perry remained creatively active, contributing to Rod Stewart's Great American Songbook albums and chronicling his turbulent life in the memoir Cloud 9. Remembered for his talent, charm, and unforgettable star-studded gatherings, Richard Perry leaves behind not only a musical catalog, but also a legacy of artistry and dedication that changed the sonic landscape for a generation.
What? The Prince of Hints is throwing a fancy fall, and we're invited. It's too bad that you...
Wayne Osmond, beloved singer, songwriter, and a cherished member of the iconic Osmond family, passed away completely on January 1st, 2025, in Salt Lake City following a stroke. He was 73. Remembered for his unwavering optimism and deep spiritual conviction, Wayne's passing was confirmed by his brothers Donnie, Merrill, and Jay, who honored him in heartfelt tributes that painted the portrait of a man whose legacy reached far beyond the stage. Born into a musically gifted family, Wayne first took the stage as part of a barbershop quartet with his brothers Alan, Merrill, and Jay in 1958, singing for their Latter-day Saints congregation in Ogden, Utah. That humble beginning would blossom into a remarkable career with the Osmonds as the family soared to international stardom. Wayne, known for his warm harmonies and musical intuition, co-wrote several songs that became fan favorites and touched millions around the world. Behind his radiant smile, Wayne endures more than his fair share of challenges. In 1997, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and the treatment left him with severe hearing loss. In 2012, a stroke robbed him of his ability to play guitar, a heartbreaking blow for someone whose life had been built around music. Yet through it all, Wayne remained what Donnie called the ultimate optimist, never losing his kindness, humility, or unwavering faith. Married to his beloved Kathleen since 1974 and father to 5 children, Wayne was not only a gifted performer, but also a man of deep devotion to family, to God, and to every soul he encountered. He gave it his all, wrote Merrill, a saint, a genius, and one of Heavenly Father's greatest sons. Wayne Osmond's light will continue to shine in the hearts of all who knew and loved him.
Keep the fires burning, keep the fires burning, keep them burning hot.
Known for her timeless hits like Rockin' Chair, 90% of Me Is You, and Funky Sensation, Gwen McCrae brought a rare emotional depth to soul and dance music that made her a true icon of the genre. With her smoky, powerful voice and magnetic stage presence, she turned grooves into gospel, blending heartbreak and empowerment in every lyric. McCrae passed away at the age of 81 after a long illness, leaving behind a discography filled with soul-stirring classics and a legacy that continues to inspire. Born Gwen Mosley in Pensacola, Florida, she began her musical journey in the church and rose to prominence in the 1970s as part of the flourishing Miami soul scene. Initially performing alongside her then-husband George McCrae, Gwen soon carved out her own space. Hits like All This Love That I'm Given and Keep the Fire Burning showcased her unique ability to turn the pulse of the dance floor into a platform for vulnerability and strength. Though her personal life was marred by a painful marriage and heartbreak, she transformed adversity into art with every note she sang. Despite her significant contributions, Gwen never received the mainstream recognition she truly deserved. Financial struggles, industry exploitation, and the eventual collapse of TK Records, the label that housed her biggest hits, limited her exposure. Yet fans across the globe, particularly in the UK rare groove scene, celebrated her as royalty. Her voice remained rich and resolute, even as her commercial visibility faded. "The only time I'm really happy is when I'm on that stage," she once said. And on that stage, Gwen McCrae became more than a performer. She became a vessel of joy, pain, and enduring soul.
Life movie that I thought would come and go, and boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. That is, I mean, it's
John Travolta. How can John Travolta keep dancing through the storm? John Travolta's journey from a theater-loving teenager to a Hollywood icon is a story of talent, resilience, and reinvention. Born on February 18, 1954, in Inglewood, New Jersey, Travolta was the youngest of 6 children in a family steeped in the arts. His mother, Helen, was an actress and singer, while his father, Salvatore, supported the family through his tire business, but championed his wife and children's creative dreams. Raised in a household buzzing with theatrical energy, Travolta's early exposure to singing, dancing, and acting laid the groundwork for a career that would span decades. By the age of 16, Travolta had dropped out of high school to pursue acting full-time in New York City. He quickly landed roles in touring productions of musicals like Grease and Over Here, honing his vocal and dance skills on stage. These formative years cultivated a deep discipline and showmanship that would become his trademarks. His charisma and natural ability drew attention, leading to his breakthrough role as Vinnie Barbarino on the hit TV series Welcome Back, Kotter. With his quick wit and magnetic screen presence, he became an instant favorite among audiences. Travolta's film career ignited shortly thereafter. In 1976, he appeared in Brian De Palma's Carrie, showcasing his range in a darker role. But it was his electrifying performance as Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever, 1977, that catapulted him into superstardom. The role earned him an Academy Award nomination and captured the cultural pulse of an era. His next iconic role came in Grease, 1978, where his portrayal of Danny Zuko solidified his image as a dynamic dancer and singer, endearing him to millions and embedding him in pop culture forever. However, the 1980s brought mixed fortunes. Films like Urban Cowboy attempted to reposition him, and while he retained a loyal fan base, he struggled to recapture his earlier box office dominance. Still, he remained active, unafraid to take risks in diverse roles. His perseverance paid off in 1994 when Quentin Tarantino cast him as Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction. The gritty, stylized performance earned him a second Oscar nomination and revived his standing as one of Hollywood's most compelling actors. The comeback led to a wave of high-profile films, including Get Shorty, Face Off, and Primary Colors, where Travolta oscillated effortlessly between action, comedy, and drama. His ability to reinvent himself kept him relevant, and critics praised his commitment to portraying complex, often contradictory characters. Whether as a charming hitman or a menacing villain, Travolta embraced each role with vigor and authenticity. Travolta's personal life, however, brought both immense joy and profound sorrow. He married actress Kelly Preston in 1991, and together they had 3 children, Jet, Ella Blue, and Benjamin. In 2009, their world was shattered by the tragic death of Jet, who passed away after suffering a seizure while on vacation. Travolta openly spoke about the depth of his grief and the emotional toll it took on his family. In 2020, tragedy struck again when Kelly Preston died following a private battle with breast cancer. These losses weighed heavily on Travolta, who described navigating grief as one of the greatest challenges of his life. Despite the pain, he remained dedicated to his family, focusing on the well-being of his remaining children. Throughout this time, he credited his faith in Scientology as a source of guidance and strength, a belief system he has often said helped him through personal and professional hardships. Health concerns were never far from Travolta's story. He has dealt with the emotional strain of long-term illnesses in his family and faced the stress of public life while navigating these struggles. After Kelly's passing, he retreated from the spotlight to focus on healing, and he has since spoken about how prioritizing mental health and wellness has become essential. Exercise and diet, once necessary for his physically demanding dance roles, evolved into daily practices for resilience and recovery. Despite the shadows of loss and stress, he has maintained a disciplined routine, emphasizing balance and self-care. Beyond acting, Travolta's passion for aviation is well known. A licensed pilot with multiple ratings, he has spoken often about how flying provides him peace and clarity. His home life, too, became increasingly private as he prioritized his children and personal healing over public attention. Still, he continued working selectively, taking on roles in projects like The Forger, Gotti, and a critically acclaimed turn as Robert Shapiro in The People, vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. Travolta also began to reflect more publicly on wellness and aging. Having spent much of his early career known for dance-heavy roles, he embraced new health routines in later years, crediting regular exercise and mindful living for maintaining his physical and mental well-being. He became an advocate for balance between career, family, and personal care, using his platform to emphasize resilience. Despite the loss and heartache, Travolta's spirit remained intact. Close friends described him as deeply empathetic and focused on living with purpose. His public appearances became more occasional, but every time he stepped onto a red carpet or shared a heartfelt moment online, it reminded fans of the star who once danced through their screens with unmatched energy. Today, John Travolta stands not only as a Hollywood veteran, but as a figure of enduring strength. His career, marked by highs and lows, continues to inspire for its authenticity and transformation. He has proven that true greatness is not only measured by fame or awards, but by the ability to grow, to love deeply, and to rise again. Through dance, through heartbreak, and through reinvention, John Travolta remains an icon who has touched the world on his own terms. What's your favorite John Travolta performance? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tribute and want more inspiring stories about legendary stars, don't forget to like this post, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a moment of cinematic history.